is jail ain't the place for me. Jail is not the place for me. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Questions surround what sent an 18-year-old to the hospital with a traumatic brain injury because he had spent less than a day in the Oklahoma County jail.
The next time his family saw him, he was in the hospital. News 4's Lauren Henry spoke with the young man's mother.
Antonio Hendricks spent less than 24 hours at the Oklahoma County jail. Now he's in a coma, fighting for his life. His family still searching for answers.
My primary question is what happened to my son and who did it.
According to court documents, Antonio Hendricks was pulled over for improper lane use near Southeast 44th and Sunny Lane. Police ended up arresting Hendricks after finding a gun in his waistband. They say he also didn't have a valid driver's license. We requested the body cam footage of the moments Oklahoma police officers took Hendricks into custody. It appears he is talking and walking normally. We know he made it to the county jail where this mugshot was taken.
The last call we received from Antonio was about 11:45 a.m. The next call I received was at 6:14 p.m. saying that my son was in intensive care at SSM Midtown.
According to Mark Opgrand with the Oklahoma County Jail, Hendricks was booked into the jail at 7:15 Friday night. Hendricks' mother, Clovia Long, says the family paid the 18-year-old's bond that evening.
That jail had told us that they can have a 24 to 48-hour process to process him out.
Normally, this is what Hendricks looks like. The next time his mother saw him, he was hospitalized.
Antonio has heavily been sedated, placed in a coma.
Now, let me say this: it is a tragic situation. It's definitely a tragic situation. But I have to say this: we have to be honest about it. You never know what can happen to you once you go behind that wall. Once you're in jail, they say he was driving with not a valid license and he had a gun in his waistline. 18-year-old with a pistol. I know that's not. I don't think anywhere where you can be 18 and have a pistol. At least that's now. If I might be mistaken, but kids nowadays just don't do. My suggestion is not to do anything that can get you thrown in jail. Now, kids are stupid nowadays. Kids will do what they want to do. But my whole point, because I think I was overly speeding, and I had to stay in lockup for about 24 hours till I could get released on no bond, on the without bond. I was overly speeding. Just those little in the lockup was like, yeah, this ain't for me. I had to dress out and all that. Yeah, this is not for me. It's not the life that I want to live. So going forward, I was never doing anything to where it could get me into the slammer. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going though.
He's doing better. They didn't find any more bleeds in the brain, but he still has a long way to go.
But how he ended up with a traumatic brain injury remains a mystery. His family is desperate to find out what happened to him after this photo was taken. The Oklahoma City Police Department tells us their records indicate Hendricks had no injuries or medical needs when they took him to the jail. He spent the next 19 hours behind bars under the supervision of jailers, and the spokesman for the jail tells us Hendricks was officially released from their custody Saturday afternoon at 2:25. Less than 30 minutes after the jail says he was released, Hendricks was in St. Anthony Hospital's emergency room.
I was told by the physicians here at St. Anthony's that Antonio was transported via IMSA, and that it was the jail that called IMSA and released him to IMSA.
Jail officials have given us little information about this case, only saying an individual who was recently booked into our facility was transported to the hospital upon release. Hendricks' mother says their family has been left in the dark.
No mother wants to see their child laying in a bed with tubes in their throat. My baby can't speak to me. as of right now, I can't even touch him. I can't kiss him because they don't want him agitated to cause any further complications. So I'm just stuck here wondering, what may be my son's outcome.
In Oklahoma City, Lauren Henry, Oklahoma's News 4.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Go over to his image. So, see, I have questions. I have questions. Of course, no mother will want to see her son like this, but why did he have a gun? Why did he have a gun? Was he known for carrying a gun? Was he a part of that lifestyle? Maybe it's an area where he felt like he needed to carry a gun for protection. But all of it comes down at the end of the day to individual actions. Is it a tragic situation? Most likely somebody beat him up, got to him, they got into a fight. We don't know. We won't know until they release some information about it. But most likely some kind of fight happened. They got into a deadly fight. You won't know who started it, but that is a possibility when you enter lockup, when you enter behind the bars. That is always a possibility. Think about that all the time. If you end up having to go to jail, the possibility that you will have to fight or defend yourself or whatever crazy thing you have to do. At the end of the day, it all comes down to individual actions. He individually chose to drive without a valid license. He chose to carry a gun. He knew the consequences behind his actions. That it'll probably get him thrown in jail. But you never know what can happen behind that wall. 24 hours. 24 hours. And your life changed forever. You were in a coma. Your mother's crying over your body. All because of individual actions. Now, should have the jailers done more? Yeah, but we got to be honest. This probably happens all the time. Maybe not to the coma aspect, but fights. Something bad happens. I'm absolutely positive plenty of people end up going to the hospital because of fights. You never know when that one fight is going to end in something crazy, like a coma, something deadly, might get stabbed with a shank. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a truly crazy world. But we got to review it together. We have to review it together. Now, I was looking to see if there was any more information about this that we can find. But majority of all the stuff, there's only one article. There's not too many articles about this. A lot of people ain't talking about it. See one article, 2 articles at most. And it's all the information we just heard. It's all about individual action. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel like somebody should be held responsible? I'm assuming the jail. I don't know. I don't know if you can hold the jailers responsible or not, because they have a wide job to do. They can't just look after one individual person. I can't imagine how many inmates they have to look after. Of course, the person who actually got into a fight with him and caused it, of course, yes, he should be held responsible. Add more time to his booking, but at the end of the day, just don't go to jail. That is my advice. Don't go to jail. Don't do stuff to get you thrown in jail. But kids nowadays won't listen to that. Kids nowadays be like, oh, well, it's only jail. I'm only being there for a little bit. He was only in there for a little bit. Now he's in the hospital. That's want to make sure I would want him to make it through it and recover, face his time. I hope he doesn't succumb to his injuries. But got to be honest. It all comes down to individual actions. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.